You'll make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Good evening and welcome into Greenie Sports Cards Live, the world's first multi-stream broadcast for the collectibles and hobby industry. And what a time it is to be in the hobby industry. There is a lot going on these days between shows and releases and news, and we are heading towards the warmer weather, which means the National Sports Collectors Convention will be here sooner than later, but there is a lot to get to before that, both in the way of live events and product releases and interesting stories along the way on the road to the National. And we here at Greenie Sports Cards are in that that little bit of space in between the Great Lakes Collectors Convention that just took place at the Independence Fieldhouse and the all-new Mountain State Collectors Convention that will take place in Charleston, West Virginia, coming up here May 16th through 18th. It is a whole new show that off the bat will be the largest collectibles event in the history of West Virginia. And I know Greenie is excited to talk about that and excited to unveil that and all the stuff that's going to go on. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. We've got a cool recap video to show you from the Great Lakes Collectors Convention. And then a little bit after that, we're going to welcome in our resident expert, Joe Wysmierski of Phoenix Card Shop, to talk about some really cool news in the hobby industry. I know he's got some products to talk about. He's got a really special one to talk about as well that's highly anticipated on the release of that product. So we'll get to that in a little bit. And then after that, we're going to welcome in our special guest, Sarah Cernugel from Notre Dame Women's Basketball. We've got a chance to know her a little bit over the last few years. Sarah, who started as a walk-on and earned a scholarship about 2 years ago, and has had a front row seat to one of the most storied programs in women's basketball. And she's got a great story herself. So we're going to get to talk to Sarah and bring you that hobby news and talk about the events. And to do that, the man himself will be here shortly. Greenie, I do want to mention, as a part of this program, the extension of this program is the live trading card auction. So you'll want to join Alex, our auctioneer, for that. He jumps on at 9 p.m. Eastern on eBay Live. You can get in on that auction. Everything starts at $2 combined shipping, so you can unlock that and participate in all kinds of cards: football, baseball, basketball, wrestling. And really the show is driven by the audience participation and interest, as well as this one as well. So you can comment in any of the sections that you are watching, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or the X, the old Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch. We are on multiple points in between, and we can see all of that filtered into one program here and get you involved in the show. So if you have a question for any of our guests, if you have a comment, this is an interactive show, and we continue to bring it to you every Tuesday night live at 7 p.m. Greenie Sports Cards Live. And with that, we'll bring in the namesake himself, the man, Steve Greenberg, aka Greenie. Welcome to your show.
Hey, thanks, Jeremy. As always, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's always fun being here.
Button, Greenie.
I did. Well, Haley probably pushes the button, although you might have pushed it this time. I don't know. But either way, we're here. It's Tuesday, and another fun show. And you're right. The shows from Great Lakes to Mountain State to Joe talking about there's going to be a really cool product that he shows tonight. And then having our guest, another Notre Dame basketball player tonight. And who would have ever thought? And we'll tell Sarah, like 2 years ago, you would have never caught me wearing Notre Dame anything in my life. And now I'm rooting for them and I'm going to their games. So, yeah.
It's an electric atmosphere. We've been sucked into the vortex of fandom, first and foremost, because there's some really good people there. And they've welcomed us in our world, what we do with open arms. And it's been a great journey so far, that one that continues. So Greenie, women's basketball on the whole, 2 years ago, I don't think either of us had really watched a game. And now I've seen more women's basketball over the last year and a half than men's game. And as we've talked, it's a great product. It's exciting. And we're going to talk to Sarah, who I said has had that front row seat in one of the major programs in the United States. And she's got some interesting things to talk about. She's collected some awards and some interesting accolades along the way. So we'll talk about her collecting journey. And we'll get to Joe about the hobby.
She has a card.
She does have a card, and signed cards, certified autograph cards.
That's right.
As well. Available on greeniecards.com if you're interested. So the shameless plug there. Greenie, before we segue into Mountain State, which is coming up, we have a terrific video of a time lapse from the Great Lakes Collectors Convention to give people really kind of a perspective on what the show floor looks like, bare bones, scratch, moving those tables in to all of a sudden, Greenie, there were thousands of people there. And I know you and I on that Sunday night, we kind of caught our breaths and we weren't really sure from an attendance standpoint what it looked like. It's hard to tell when you're just running down the road. And there was a little bit of, I don't want to say resignation, but it didn't feel like it was jam-packed the entire weekend until we looked at the numbers, until we looked at the videos, until we talked to all of the vendors and participants. And holy cow, there were over 3,000 people that showed up over the weekend.
That's right.
And, we'll show you what that looks like expedited in full time.
It's interesting as we look at that. When we talked to Brad Beeman, Shipshawana show and Grove City show on the stage, we talked about different things that producers do. And one of the things that you do is you build the floor plan. And if you look at those aisles, they were pretty wide, 10 feet if I'm pretty sure. And that is, people aren't stuffed in there. And that's one of the things you said. It didn't feel packed. It's because the aisles are so wide, and that building is huge, 50,000 square feet. And while it may not have looked packed, it certainly was. And just a large building with so many people in it just doesn't look as packed as a 20,000 square foot, hotel show.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. As producers, there's a different perspective on everybody participating has their own goals and missions. And if you're a vendor, you're trying to sell cards. If you're a sponsor, you're trying to get impressions and engagement. And from a producer perspective, our success is oftentimes based on how many vendor tables and participants you have, and then how many people you put through the door. So again, on Sunday night, we kind of looked at each other and we were like, well, it felt like a good show. But when you look at the numbers, it's just astounding. And to your point about the aisles, And thank you, dude, for checking in. Hobby Ohio was a participant and sponsor, and we can't do these things without our village. And to really realize in 3 years how much this show has grown, it's pretty incredible. And it has set the stage for what's going to come here in about 10 days with the Mountain State Collectors Convention. And we're very excited for that one to take place. Greenie, talk a little bit about this evolution. There are over 125 tables on this show in an area that has never had something on this scale before.
Yeah, and it's no secret that we like to grow things here, and we talked about can we do another show, and where can we do another show, and you look, and every major city has such big shows, and we kind of it's interesting. We just kind of just opened up a map and we looked, but we also had a connection down there in Charleston. So we had a good conversation with the convention bureau or the visitors bureau, and determined that there are a lot of cities within close proximity of Charleston. 4 hours in all directions. Obviously not east, because 4 hours from there you'd be in the water. But the fact is, you have Pittsburgh and Cincinnati and even south into the Carolinas, and then up towards Baltimore. And I know that that's not 4 hours, but it's still within driving distance. And believe it or not, Indianapolis isn't that far. It's like 5 hours. So, I mean, you can reach a lot of people in Charleston. And then the airport is a 5-minute drive to the convention center. So there is a lot of avenues for people to travel to this show. We went down there, we took a drive and toured the convention center, and it's beautiful. So, it was, an easy decision, no, but it was an easy decision to really work something in to the convention center and have a plan for a couple years, right? Is it going to be, gangbusters out of the gate, 1,000 tables and 16,500 people at the show? Probably not in the first one, but you have to build it a little bit, and that's what we're going to do.
And one of the lessons that you and I have talked about in call it what you want, being entrepreneurs or producers or in this space where a lot of times you're just building the plane as you're flying it in this industry, but you've got to start somewhere, and that's something we've kind of held true to the spirit of jump in and do it and sort of figure it out. If you do things with great intention, and you try and do things for the right reasons and supporting those stakeholders and creating an environment for commerce, in this case on an event, and you promote the thing and you grow it, at some point you've got to go, and we'll see what happens here in a couple of weeks, but the intent is to do it over a couple years and continue to grow it, but you got to establish it at some point.
That's right. And here we can pop it up here. Travis Gibson, who was at the Great Lakes Collectors Convention, Gibby's Collectibles and the Gibby's family, they bring a ton of people, and they're going to be front and center, in Charleston. So, people that are just coming for sports is not the case. I mean, there's going to be everything there: Pokemon, TCG, and it's interesting. As I'm looking at the Mountain State Collectors Convention logo that you created, and you can see all the different things. If you look at the word convention, the O's are kind of like little. I mean, that's part of the Pokemon logo, right? So, there's going to be something for everybody at this show. There's going to be sports. There's going to be memorabilia. There's going to be Pokemon. There's going to be some clothing there. So it's going to be a collector's convention. So we really look forward to this one.
Yeah, for sure. And you talk about great partners. You can see them there, starting with the Charleston Convention and Visitors Bureau that is supporting this. And you've got Card Sharks and Retro Reset and Max Sports Cards and Benny's Breaks, and of course Gibby's Collectibles, as you mentioned. It's going to be a great show, and talk about the trade night that's developing too at Gomart Ballpark, which is the home of the Charleston Dirty Birds, and there's going to be a pretty cool event there on Saturday night, followed by fireworks after the game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We had a conversation with them. We found that the ballpark is literally a mile away from the convention center. They were home that day, and through discussions with them, we said, why don't we have our like after hours trade night at the ballpark, which works perfect. The show ends at 5. The game's at 6:30. Their ballpark opens at 5:30, so people can just take a little walk or a ride right down to the ballpark. We'll be in the right field mezzanine section, I guess. There'll be tables up, and we'll hang out. We'll have a trade night. We'll watch the game. There'll be fireworks there, and if you're a Cleveland fan, you'll recognize a name that may be playing that night in Bobby Bradley for the Charleston Dirty Birds. I saw him on their roster. I think there was another player that I recognized too. So kind of cool. Should be a fun night.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. It's a little bit of a twist, and everything's centrally located. There's plenty of hotels in the area. You mentioned the facility; it is gorgeous. When we looked at it in Charleston, and there's going to be plenty of space to lay it out. South Hall will accommodate, between 120, 150 tables where this show is going to land, and then there are other halls where it gives the space room to grow on a contiguous level. So. Very excited to see this one launch, and tickets are available, of course, at greeniesportscards.com. You want to hit that and check out all the information there. So the show goes on the 16th. There's, of course, VIP packages that get you in a little bit early Friday and Saturday. There's some buyer badge options if you want to get in real early and work some deals. And then Saturday and Sunday, you've got the event. So kudos to you, Greenie, and Team Greenie Sports Cards for jumping in, and thanks to the Charleston Visitors Bureau and the Convention Center for helping us get this thing going.
Yeah, we can't wait. Just another piece to the puzzle that we're building here.
And if that wasn't enough, meantime, last weekend you had a Kirtland show. So
that's right. Yeah, right.
You may not remember that. It's all in the blur. Anything that's the show where everybody knows your name. It's a small local show.
It is. It's a nice little family show. It's there. It's monthly. People that live, within, pretty much a 10 to 15 mile radius, they come, they hang out, and it's a nice little crowd. It's a nice little relaxing show. And meanwhile, there's some really great cards there. And I know people were posting, on their social medias of, there were some pretty expensive cards bought and sold in that room too. So even the little shows produce some big numbers.
Absolutely. So plenty of stuff going on, as we said, in the event world, in the hobby world. We're going to welcome Joe Wysmierski of Phoenix Sports Cards here in just a minute. We expect Sarah Cernugel from Notre Dame Women's Basketball will be joining us as well to talk about her journey. And yeah, let's get to the news, because I know Joe's got some cool stuff to talk about. So with that, we'll welcome in Joe Wysmierski from Phoenix Card Shop in Phoenix, all the way across the country to join us. And we'll say good evening, Joe.
Good evening, gentlemen. We're really weird out here in the desert. We had a freak rainstorm.
Ooh.
Average of 90s to the high 60s. So people were freaking out, covering their plants, wrapping their water pipes with towels. So hopefully we're out of that now, and we'll be into subtle 90 degrees for the rest of the week. So with that being said, huge week. The week is heating up because it is Bowman Baseball Release Week. Bowman is one of the flagship staple products that come out every year. This is a product that you're looking for not only rookies, but you are looking for prospects. This comes out in a few different SKUs. It comes out in what I have here, a jumbo box. So the jumbo box gives you 3 autographs on average per box. So you have your jumbo here. You have James Wood, who we've spoke about multiple, and also have Charlie Condon for the Rockies on here. I know I'm looking for Kevin McGoynell, who is Detroit Tiger. The big guy who's coming. But the jumbo is right here. That also comes in what is called just the standard hobby box. The hobby box gives you 1 auto per, and then it also has a value box, which is like a blaster. So this is a product that a lot of people prospect in, but also there is a new chase that was introduced last week at the Topps convention, and you're looking for the red rookie logos. So there are cards of James Wood, Other pitchers, Dylan Cruz. The rookie logo in the corner of the card will be red. So it is a redemption chase. These players rookie of the year. If they win the Cy Young or MVP, there's opportunities to turn those cards in to receive Fanatics cash of up to $100 for Rookie of the Year. If they win the Cy Young or MVP, I believe it's $200. And then if you want to hold on to it and they become a Hall of Famer within 10 years of retirement, it can be worth up to $1,000 in Fanatics cash. So something that's different, never done, and people are really excited about the product. I'd love to hear your take on it, Greenie.
I don't know, right? Like, I mean, it's awesome, right? I mean, that card there, that superfractor that was up, the picture of it. I mean, it's always the biggest product. And now it's funny, right? Like, here's my take, right? Like Charlie Condon, right? You get that card, you hit it, it's the biggest thing ever. Do you save it? Do you save it for 5 years? I think you sell all the prospects as soon as you get them. That's, not because I'm not an investor or I don't think, but 99,000 out of 100,000 times, they're never going to be hotter than when that product comes out.
Now, Steve, you do know the story of one of the employees here at Phoenix Sports Cards, Chris.
I'm aware.
And
I had an opportunity as well
to buy that.
I did.
Yeah, the non-autoed superfractor of Ronald Acuna was definitely let go a little premature. But hey, at that time, nobody knew that it was going to be as big.
No.
Or he would do as big a thing. So I'm with you too. It's a big gamble. I mean, Bowman in general is a big gamble because these prospects. There's gentlemen like Brandon McKay, who was going to be absolutely.
Sure.
And that was another plug for Phoenix Sports Cards. We had a customer pull that superfractor, and right now he's trying to tread water to stay on a team. But he was the number one overall guy.
Right.
So Bowman can have that high risk, high reward, but it is a product that is not for the faint of heart, because if you are looking to get 3 autos and go for that jumbo box, it's going to cost you anywhere from $600 to $700 for a jumbo, and then the hobby boxes are going to be about $325 to $400 unreleased. And then typically the blasters come out anywhere from $40 to $50 a blaster. And don't sleep on the blasters. It is a retail product, but there are so many prospects in baseball, both international and that are U.S.-based prospects, that there's autos in these blasters. So if you're out there in the wild and you find it at a retail store and you're a baseball guy or gal, go ahead and jump in, because there is a good opportunity to get something nice in those boxes. Now, that does kind of segue us into a little football release this week. So there's 2 big products I want to talk about. The first is going to be Immaculate Football. This is a 2024 product. It is from Panini. This is a product that has anywhere from like 6 to 7 to 8 cards per box. It is incredibly high end. It can be anywhere from $900 to $1,200 a box. But this is a product where you can get relics and shoelaces. You can get a huge thick box and it has a beautiful shoelace in it, or you could get something as nice as what you see there, a rookie patch auto. You can get some acetate cards that have autos as well. Bell shields. It is a great product, but this is one of those products where you're limited on the autographs because of the quarterbacks who are exclusive to Fanatics. So Michael Penix Jr. and J.J. McCarthy are the top rookie quarterbacks that you're looking to get autographs in this product. But then there's some lines right there that you can see. You can also get a little Amon-Ra, and it looks like a Herman Moore on there. But, even getting patches and relics of Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, you do have the opportunity to get those type of cards. So this is a great product. But again, it is a high risk, but you do have the opportunity for a high reward. And then that does into NFL Topps NFL Resurgence. So This is a new release. This is a product that will give you the opportunity for Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, as well as, you're going to have Brock Bowers that's in there. That's exclusive that you can see right there.
Is this like a Chrome type product, do you think? Chrome stock?
Yes, absolutely. So Resurgence, it did have a Chrome card that was in Topps Composite, which was kind of like a Chronicles type, which had a bunch of different brands together. But now Resurgence is going to be on its own product. So this is going to be nice. To keep in mind, there are going to be a few products that they're going to finish up with the 2024 season. But from what I have heard from the Topps conference last week, they are going to be really limited on the amount of products that come out for the 2025 draft class. They're going to really hold that until the license is available to them next April. So you may not see very many football products coming out. They're going to really kind of tie a bow on the 2024 class, but they really want to start off with a bang and start that off in April of next year with their 2025 draft class.
Okay. There you go.
Drake May, who I've failed to. So Drake May is an exclusive Fanatics guy too for the Patriots. But like you guys have alluded to before, there is a new product. It is Topps Chrome V Friends.
That's the one, man. That's the Gary V.
Yeah. They've done a great job really pushing the kind of uniqueness of this product and the ability to get great return value on the purchase here. So there is the opportunity for autographs of top entrepreneurs like Dana White, Gary Vee himself, Kevin Hart, but also there's great art value in the cards too. So one of the things that's nice is one of the gentlemen who was an artist at Panini that did the Kaboom cards is one of the artists in this product too. So
Very cool.
what I'd like to do, this product does release tomorrow for purchase. What I'd like to do a little preview, if that's okay with you guys, to kind of show everyone who's watching Greenie the opportunity what you can get in a product like Topps Chrome V Friends.
Huh.
So let's check it out. This is a product too that is really buzzing online, as you guys know. It does come in a hobby blaster like this. There is 8 packs in the box, but it is trending to be a pretty penny if you come across them, because there is a limited print run. When I had an opportunity to be on a conference call when they were discussing this, and Gary Vee himself said he was a little upset that they didn't print as much as he would have liked of the product. So let's check it out right now. We'll do our first pack here. So there's 4 cards per pack, and see what we have here. So we have a Vibing Vampire. We have a Bullish Bull, and these are all Chrome cards. These are their characters. Generous Gerbil. See, the quality, nice. So we have V Friends First Chrome of the Humble Hedgehog, and it has the First Chrome logo right there in the bottom.
Okay.
So it does.
That's cool.
There are not guaranteed autos per box. You're looking for inserts. We have another first one. We have Kind Kudu. It looks like we have some color here too. We have the Creative Crab.
Okay.
All right. I've got a yellow here. We have the Courageous Cockatoo, yellow or gold. Let me see if it's numbered on the back here.
Interesting.
It is not numbered, but it looks like it is a parallel. And then we have the Decisive Duck.
How much is a V Friends box going to run?
I wish you wouldn't have asked me that.
I didn't.
Yeah.
KPD did.
So I've seen prices trending.
This is an interactive show, Joe.
I know. Anywhere from $90 to $130 for 8 packs.
Right.
To the Moon Meerkat. Oh, it looks like I've got something cool coming up here. Diamond Hands Hen. Maybe we'll try it together here. I don't know what this is, but
I don't either.
look, it is a authentic anaconda, and it looks like it's a lenticular card, almost, or like a stained.
Yeah,
That's pretty
that's
cool.
cool.
That is cool.
We have that.
I saw like a Gary V a picture while you're opening these. I'll talk like the one of his autographs. He put an inscription of his GPA in high school. It's like a 1 point something.
I love.
Yeah.
And then for breakers too. I mean, I know sometimes we get caught up on a plastic. Pretty easy rip too. Tough to beat a worm from dirt. And that's a first V, friends. We got another yellow parallel. We have a stunned sun. Again, a first chrome. We have the focused falcon. And we have major moth. And again, it's a nice rip of a pack. We're halfway through here, and we're just going to finish up for you guys. Because if we could hit something really nice and get an auto or something, that would be fantastic. And no doubles yet either, guys. That's huge. So we have the Mindfill Minokawa.
Here comes the double.
Tenacious Termite. We are flying through here. We have the Daring Dragonfly. And the Benevolent Barn Owl. That's 5 for 5 packs of all original characters so far. We are doing well here. So that also tells me something too, that people that are looking to make the whole set,
Right.
something that you can see across the product. That's fantastic for the collectors. So we have the Gutsy Gecko. We have the Cynical Cat. Another yellow, we have the Empathy Elephant.
There he is.
Yep, there he is. And the Peaceful Pelican. Jeremy, we are 6 for 6 so far with our final 2 packs coming. This is almost like a derby call, right down to the end here. Which, by the way, did you guys hear that every horse that was a part of the derby was a descendant of Secretariat?
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
The Balanced Beetle. I believe we're still going. We have the Patient Pig. Another yellow here of the Notorious Ninja.
Interesting.
Joe, how many cards are in this set?
I am not 100% sure on the entire set, but I'm coming across quite a few that are B Friends First Chrome. So that I guess that's not for the entirety of B Friends cards, but dude, they're sharp looking cards. And how about the Legit Llama? Jeremy,
That's legit.
For 7 right now, and this is our last pack. Last pack magic. Here we go. This does debut tomorrow.
Kevin Hart auto. Kevin Hart.
We have the Eager Eagle.
There he is.
And he's a first. The Accountable Anteater. Fantastic. We have the Karma Kiwi. And the Resourceful Robin to finish us off. And again, this is a product. It's fun. You can find it in the wild too. I would jump in on this type of product. I know, here's a little insider tip. If you can go onto Topps and you can join that EQL, that's another thing. If you're a collector, it's a drawing, but they don't release exactly what the cost will be right away. You have to be picked for it. I know in my personal experience, I did join an EQL for the WWE Cactus Jack, and it was unfortunate I wasn't able to win it, but about $300, and then the resale market was anywhere from like $800 to $1,000. So, we're not giving any investment information or tips here, but this could be a product that you might want to hold on to, or you might say, hey, I remember listening to Jeremy, Greenie, and Joe back on May 6th. When they said, hey, if I found that box, hold on to it, or this, it could be a Pokemon product, right? Gary
Could
V.
be. Could be.
Joe, as we know, Gary V is such a phenomenal marketer and visionary, and has found gold in most everything he touches. my son acquired a Gary V signed dialed in dog at this year's national. What's a Gary V autograph go for these days?
I mean, I'm going to say minimum, depending on if it's certed, right? We're looking at probably about 100 to 150. I know we have Funko Pops that are signed by Gary V in the shop here that go from anywhere from $240 to $300.
Very good.
Very cool. Well, we're not selling it. We're hanging on to that one
That's right.
as I continue to collect stuff and not sell stuff. So, Joe, as always, thank you for your resident expertise on behalf of Greenie Sports Cars Live.
Thanks, Joe.
And really quick, gentlemen, I will have an update for you. The Diamondbacks did reach out to our customer that did pull that Baxter Superfractor.
Okay.
On-field trade. So hopefully we'll have something to document for you guys in the future. So
that would be great.
Adam Schefter style on the cell phone. So talk to you guys about that. Remember,
Cool.
Sports Card 59th and Thunderbird. Check us out at phoenixsportscards.com and at PHX Sports Cards on Instagram. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
there you
Joe.
go, Joe. We'll see you next week. Our thanks to Joe Wysmierski, Phoenix Card Shop, and you got a sneak preview at our next guest coming up. Greenie, as you said earlier, we have found ourselves aligned with the Notre Dame women's basketball program, an unexpected twist in our lives, being here in Ohio and a graduate of The Ohio State University and one from Kent State University. And we were fortunate to be part of an event about a year and a half ago at this point. It was technically 2 seasons. And we'll give you a preview of that event, what happened. And then we will welcome in our guest, Sarah Cernugel, and talk about her journey and her career. She was a part of that event. She has a card, of course, on Greenie Cards, and very excited to talk about her story and her journey. So, Haley, let's give everybody a review of what took place with our introduction to Notre Dame women's basketball.
Hey, this is Steve with Greenie Sports Cards, and this is our first ever postseason prep rally with the Notre Dame women's basketball team. We partnered with Sean Crawford, former Notre Dame captain, and GB Art to bring a limited edition t-shirt and trading card and the ultimate fan experience here in South Bend. We have Papa Shot, we have Cornhole, we have Connect 4, we have an autograph session, and we have kids opening packs with Notre Dame women's basketball. We wanted to thank everybody to help us make this such a success for our first ultimate fan experience.
And Greenie, our guest this evening hails from Westmont, Illinois. She's a high school graduate of Hinsdale Central and started her career at Notre Dame on the women's basketball team as a walk-on, ascended to a scholarship athlete in the storied program of Notre Dame. And as we said earlier, we were fortunate to be in the orbit of this team and the players and in the program itself. It's a tremendous program. The atmosphere is electric out there in South Bend for the games, and they're just great people. And so we're welcome and honored to welcome Sarah Cernugel to the program and say thank you for joining Greenie Sports Cards Live.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Good, how are you?
We're doing well as the season just wrapped up. But yeah, we ran into you earlier this year. We were at the Louisville game, but wanted to really get in touch with you and talk about your journey. Coming from Hinsdale and in the Chicago area and going to Notre Dame. So if we can go back to your high school career. I mean, you played soccer, you played basketball, pretty much excelled in all of those as well as academics, which we'll get into as well. What brought you to South Bend?
Well, honestly, I didn't really expect to play basketball in college. I'll start with that. But my dad went to Notre Dame and my mom went to St. Mary's. So we grew up big Notre Dame fans. I'd always been to campus for football games or soccer games or basketball games as well. So definitely caught my eye from a young age, and then really understanding the academics of it as well, just how good of a school it is all around. Definitely drew me to South Bend.
Sarah, you had a successful high school career by any measure, played 3 years varsity at Hinsdale, two-time all-conference selection, two-time MVP for the team. You made the playoffs every year and named all sectional. So you had a excellent resume coming out of high school. Division I basketball, Notre Dame at the highest level is a different animal. You stand 5'4", you're a guard. What was the decision to try out and try and walk on this team, and take us to that time period when you just decided, all right, this is something I want to pursue?
Yeah, it was just kind of lucky chance that I saw they had tryouts. Originally, my freshman year, I played soccer at Holy Cross College across the street. So when I transferred over, I was playing club soccer here at Notre Dame, but I saw on Instagram that they were going to host tryouts. So at first I was going back and forth whether I wanted to do it or not. But a lot of people were telling me just go for it and see what happens. And I ended up working out really well and made the team and stayed on for 4 years. But yeah, definitely wasn't in the plans at first.
Before even that, before you even went, did you have offers, or did you ever think about going to play any sport anywhere else, or was this just a decision like I'm going to get into Notre Dame somehow, and just for academics, and then athletics was secondary?
I kind of chose like soccer as my main sport in high school, so that's what I was trying to get recruited for because I played club for soccer but not basketball. So there's more exposure there. So I did not have any offers for basketball, and then no major offers from big schools for soccer, which I kind of came to the decision that I want to go to a really good academic school, and if I got into Notre Dame, then I would choose that over athletics. So that's where that decision came from.
And then you decided to walk on, and everybody tries out with the chance to make the team. When you did that, and when they told you made that team, what was that feeling like? Like, I can't even describe as a walk on to play at Notre Dame. What was that feeling like when they came to you and said, "Hey, you're one of the 14 girls"?
Yeah, it was crazy. Definitely a dream come true. Just like how I was talking about how I was a huge Notre Dame fan growing up. So definitely like being on the basketball team at Notre Dame, just like knowing the history of the program and how exceptional all their players are, their staff, everything like that. Just being able to join that program, definitely a shock, super cool. And I was very excited.
So seeing you as a walk-on, Sarah, and kind of, obviously you can play. You certainly have the skills to play. But going from a walk-on, we've had the chance to talk to you a little bit. We don't know you all that well, but when I see a walk-on, you must have an unbelievable work ethic and dedication, and to stick through the program, and the will and determination to do the things that you are willing to do for a team, to stick around the program, and then to earn a scholarship, to be awarded with a scholarship, I believe in August of 2023, your senior year. It tells a tremendous story. The fact that you would have worked that hard, that the coaches and organization, the program recognizes that, and they award you with a scholarship, and you become a scholarship athlete, student athlete at Notre Dame. Take us to that point in time when they announced it. How did you find out, and what did they do to tell you were going to go on from walk-on status to scholarship athlete?
Yeah, so we ended up having a team meeting after one of our early morning conditioning sessions. So they brought us into this room and we're kind of going over like team rules and expectations. And she was like, everybody make sure you fill out your form for your scholarship. Like everyone needs to do that. And everyone kind of looked around like, what form for the scholarship? And I was kind of thinking, well, I mean, I didn't do it, but I don't need to do it. So I wasn't stressing about it. But she went to the next slide and she was like, just kidding. Like Sarah got a scholarship. So that was really cool. I was super surprised. Everyone in the room didn't know about it either. So it was a surprise for them as well. But honestly, it's just the ultimate honor. And, coach up there talking about me very highly. It was so cool.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. Everybody has seen the movie Rudy, and you see, but this is like the same story. I mean, you walked on at arguably one of the top 5 schools in the country, and you hung on there for 4 years. So even after your first year, did you have to try out again to be a walk on, or how does that work?
Yeah, funny you first compared to Rudy. I get that a lot, just like because I started as a gateway, so I was at Holy Cross to start my career, and then came over to Notre Dame as a walk-on. So definitely pretty similar. But yeah, wait. So sorry, lost the question there.
So you walked on, you made it your first, this is your sophomore year actually,
Mhm.
but then your junior year, is it still a tryout again? Like for walk-ons, like do they bring more people in? Like how does that work?
I had heard that like Notre Dame women's basketball does like a 1-year thing. So I just talked to coach and said like, are you hoping to have walk-ons next year? Like, is there a shot for me to come back or try it or anything like that? And she said there was no tryout. So I was able to come back. But I think my junior year, they did have tryouts again and brought one more person on. And then they had them again this year and had 2 people come on in the middle of the season. So you don't have to try out to stay on, but there's usually a tryout if they are wanting more.
But you have
Sarah,
to work hard to keep that spot.
yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
that's it. I mean, you're not on scholarship. So the work ethic, as Jeremy said, and you've shown, is terrific. And you have to keep that up because you're not on scholarship.
Mhm.
Sarah, your work and dedication is also reflected in the response to the fan base. And from what we've seen, the Purcell Pavilion at Joyce Center is a remarkable place, a remarkable atmosphere to take in a college basketball game. The games sell out. It's loud. It gets raucous. The fans are behind you. You get a rousing cheer and celebration, a noticeable cheer when you enter the game and when you hit a shot. What is that feeling like? If you reflect on your journey, you go from that walk-on status to fans absolutely going nuts when you hit a basket in that environment.
Yeah, it's definitely unbelievable. We have such a great crowd, loyal fans that show up every game, and Purcell gets really loud. So it's honestly awesome. Like when I hit a shot, best feeling ever, just hearing that crowd and how much they appreciate our players and what we do.
I was at the UConn game this year, and in my life, I've been to a lot of basketball games. Not a lot of women's basketball games, but a lot of basketball games. And that game was probably the most electric game I had ever been to, men or women. Um, I, I know that Paige Beckers is what Paige Beckers is, but you have Hannah, and your team was unbelievable. You won that game. What is that like, knowing that you have probably 2 of the best players in college basketball going up against each other in that game, and you have a front row seat?
Yeah, it's awesome. Honestly, great for basketball to have just 2 like great players and great like just 2 great teams and an historic rivalry for both schools. So yeah, definitely a great matchup and to be there front row cheering on my teammates. It's really cool.
This is a hobby show, Sarah, a collecting show, and you've collected some things along the way, some awards, some accolades, all ACC academic team. I believe in 2024 you were the student athlete of the year at Notre Dame. Your team has won along the way. You've got an ACC tournament championship. You've got a regular season co-championship. What are some of your favorite things that you've collected along the way, either the awards or the memories?
I would say like memory wise, March Madness is always super cool for me. Just being able to first play at home on our home court in March Madness is incredible. Having that home crowd there and then being able to travel to different locations, those big games, Sweet 16 games. And honestly, just, the memories with the team are so incredible. So those are something I always take with me. And we definitely got to go to some cool places. We went to Paris to play and some Caribbean islands and stuff like that. So that's incredible. But definitely the friendship with my teammates and just the support I have from my coaches and the relationship we built there as well. Definitely something I'll take with me.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. And you said, like, where are some of the places that basketball took you? When you went to Paris, like, what was that like? I know you were there for games, but, like, did you get a chance to, like, really see some sights and take in, some of those experiences?
Yeah, we got there a few days early, so we did get to see some sightseeing stuff, be some tourists for a little bit. We went to the Eiffel Tower and we went to the Louvre and just got to walk around and see Paris. So that was definitely really awesome.
Yeah. So college basketball has changed so much, men's and women's, over the last couple of years. That NIL, the transfer portal, all different things. Was there ever a time where you were like, I'm playing, I'm working real hard. I'd like to go somewhere and play, or did you just say, you know what, I love Notre Dame, I love the academics, this is where I'm happy?
Yeah, I never thought about leaving. I love Notre Dame. The academics definitely plays a role as well, but just like I was so happy with my position on the team, even though I wasn't playing all the time. I could just see myself getting better from the time I started to now as a player, as a person, and the relationships I built with my team and the staff. So it was never really anything to look at leaving.
There's so many things that you can learn being on a team at any sport, anything. You can play lacrosse, you can play baseball. What are some of the things that you learned in the team atmosphere that you'll have, like, and keep those forever?
Definitely, like if you give 100% every day, you're not going to regret it. That's what I try to do every day. And if you're not making an impact on the floor, there's definitely other ways you can make an impact. Just being a great teammate, doing whatever you can to help the team. Those are the big things I'll take with me because I think that applies in all areas of life.
According to your bio, you majored in applied and computational math and statistics. So those lessons you learned in the program, what are you going to apply for yourself moving forward? And where does the journey go next for Sarah?
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot in those classes. A tough major, but I'm going to be a sports data analyst next year. I'll actually be working at Notre Dame in the sports performance department. So I'll be applying everything I learned there and everything I learned being a student athlete at Notre Dame to help better the Notre Dame athletic program.
Do you think coaching is in your future?
Possibly, maybe down the line, but definitely want to settle into my job first and give 100% at that.
I saw
What's the
you. So
most-
you're. Go ahead, Jim.
Go ahead, Greenie.
I was going to say you're a Bears fan. I saw that, and I saw that, that's something that you may want to pursue in working for a professional team as well.
Yeah, possibly down the line. Definitely a big Bears fan, so it'd be cool to have that experience as well.
Talk a little bit about Coach Ivy and the program and the environment she creates. And we've had a chance, we've talked to a couple players, KK, and we've talked to Hannah and Maddie in the past. She creates an environment. You have the pregame fit element to it. You've got, we were down there and you guys were walking around in green hats and derby hats and all kinds of interesting stuff. What is about Coach Ivy and her culture that exists at Notre Dame that makes you want to play there?
Yeah, I mean, she's a great coach, but she's also just a great person, and she cares about the players. So, yeah, like you said, the pregame fits, that's something a few players approached her about early in the season, and she agreed to do that because she knew how much that meant to them. And she just builds a great team atmosphere where, yeah, you want to work hard for every day because she's going to put in 100%. You got to give it back. So she's a very smart coach as well. So she'll put us in the best positions possible on the court.
So Jeremy and I said this earlier, even before you were on. So, we're Ohio guys. We're Ohio State guys. We're Kent State, who you played Kent State last year in the tournament. But never did we think in our wildest dreams we would ever wear Notre Dame. And a couple of years ago, we were able to meet all you girls. We did that prep rally with Sean Crawford. And now we find it very easy to root for Notre Dame. And that's because, like Jeremy said, it's because of the people. It's because of your coach. It's because of the staff that you guys have. And it's real easy to root for people that are fun and great to get along with. And that's one of the reasons we've still continued to come to Notre Dame games, and we still try to do some things. And, we covered the UConn game, we covered the Louisville game, and we'll continue, far after you're gone and the new players come in. And it's such a good program to root for, even for Ohio guys. So we definitely appreciate you guys allowing us kind of into your crew and family. And I mean, it's been really fun watching.
Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate all you do for us as well.
Yeah. So We look forward to seeing what's next. We may not be Bears fans, but we know that you're rooting, and maybe Caleb Williams will do pretty well. So
Yeah.
we do appreciate your time. We enjoy rooting for Notre Dame basketball, and man, we hope to see good things, and maybe we'll see you on the sidelines one day. Who knows?
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Sarah, thank you for joining us. Thank you to Ashton Pollard as well for setting up the interview on our behalf. And we wish you the best of luck here moving forward.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
All right, Greenie, very cool stuff. We gave a sneak peek at that card. You can go to greeniecards.com and get a certified autograph Sarah Cernugel card. If you'd like, as well as her teammates from last year. We have a number of those cards. And so that was a lot of fun.
It was. And that event was a lot of fun. And that's, we talked about that. And listen, we could have went there. We could have just had an event, and we could have went our separate ways. But man, you talked to all those girls, and you had a great interview with Hannah Hidalgo. And I sat with KK Bransford for a while. She's from Cincinnati, and Nat Marshall, who went on to Miami. But all those girls were terrific. And there's Bo there, and there's Nat, and Kylie, and it was just an amazing experience getting to know these girls. And there's Sarah signing one of the shirts. Very easy to root for, and that's why we've enjoyed coming back to Notre Dame. And what an atmosphere, like you said, in Purcell Pavilion.
Our thanks to Sarah Cernugel, as well as Ashton Pollard, who did set that up from Notre Dame. And thanks to Joe Wysmierski from Phoenix Card Shop for joining us. Thanks to Haley behind the board, who gets us through every week. You're going to want to make sure to join Alex on the Greenie Sports Cards Live trading card auction portion of this. That'll kick off at 9 p.m. All those auctions start at $2. Get combined shipping. You unlock that as much as you buy. Comes with that combined shipping element. And that show program's a lot of fun. I happened to see Alex out at Great Lakes during that show and got a chance to really just thank him and tell him how much I appreciate the work he does, because he does a tremendous job every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. He's there consistently, and he's built up a following and a really good portion of this program. So make sure you check out Alex and what he does.
It is. He does. He does a terrific job, and we don't say it often enough. You're right. I mean, it's remarkable, and what Haley does too, and all these graphics that appear all over the screen and all this stuff scrolling. I mean, it's pretty amazing what we have and the people that we have helping us.
It does take a village. And again, that village is going to be moving to Charleston, West Virginia for 3 days, May 16th through 18th, the Mountain State Collectors Convention. There are a couple tables still available. So if you're interested, reach out to Greenie, and you can do that through the website. You can do that through the email address. And if you want to join us, and then tickets are on sale for that as well. You've got the trade night on Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun, Greenie, and we're looking forward to that one.
Can't wait. I can't wait for everything, Charleston. I can't wait for the show. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I can't wait for the trade night, because it's going to be really cool, and it's going to be unique. And it's going to be at a baseball stadium, which you don't see very often. And, we're going to catch a baseball game. We're going to catch some fireworks, and, it should be a pretty electric night there.
Yeah, it's going to end in fireworks either way. So
one way or another.
But it's going to be awesome. Over 125 tables and growing. It'll probably be 150 by the time we get there. We got the trade night on Saturday, plenty of hotels in the area. And as you said earlier, it's a really accessible drive. So if you're within a 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour drive, you can get out there for the show. And we fully expect this will continue to grow year after year, as the Great Lakes Collectors Convention has done.
Absolutely. And that's the plan. We don't do these for one-offs. We do these, to build something and put our stamp on something in different areas. So we look forward to seeing people next weekend in Charleston.
Absolutely. Greenie, our thanks to you as well. Always.
And let's go Cavs tonight. Have a good night, everybody.